Hello and welcome back. I hope you had a cracking New Year. Didn't drink too much, we didn't. Working New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, so standard for us. Well, I hope you all had a good one. So today, we're just on the 109 again. We're just doing lighting today. So over the New Year and the last week, we're having a bit of an issue with the high beam. There seems to be no high beam on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at that, see if we can figure out what's going on there. Then, if you come with me to the back, come on. On the back here, we've got two lights, both sides. They've never done anything. Mission today is we're going to get over to Halfords again, not sponsored by Halfords. We're going to get over there, see if we can get some bits for it. Two toggle switches maybe for the fogs and reverse. I'm going to try and, if they don't do anything, them lights in there, I'm going to try and replace or use them, utilise them as fogs and reverse lights. So at least they've got a purpose, but for that I need two toggle switches and we need some fuel with it, so let's get to it. So it's dangerous coming in here. I end up buying more than I need. I always end up on the all the oil aisles and all that stuff. This time you're just getting what I need and going. Just then, please. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick, I can turn you around, just down here in this little console that I've built. We're going to stick a fog light switch, or well, fog light, reverse light, or whatever, whichever way around we decide to do at the time. Now, while we're on the job, just behind this GPS here, we've got this switch here. Don't know what that does. It only seems to go halfway as well. The side head switch, which does your headlights, so you've got a main beam, but there's no high beam on that, so we need to have a look at that and see what's going on with it. This is the heater. I'm sure it should be a 2-speed heater as well, so we might see if there's anything in there that we can have a look at, see if we can get that back to being a 2-speed, which would be brilliant. Other than that, if we can get all that sorted today, brilliant, but if not, then job for another day, I suppose. Keep watching, see if we can get it done. I was saying there's no high beam, but there is a low beam, or standard beam, dip beam. I've just looked at these headlights, and these are what they call sealed beams. So this is headlight on the driver's side. I don't know if you can see there, it says sealed beam at the bottom. And what that means is that in your conventional headlight, or you get the lamp that goes into the headlight. I'll just show you on this one here. So you see, I don't know if you can see it, but like on a standard car, you see in the back here you got the lamp that you can change. On a sealed beam unit, you can't change the lamp. So that's what they look like inside. So as you can see, there's no actual lamp in there, it's just a filament. So in testing it, that is, I don't know what that is, it's either high beam or dip beam. But if I plug that wire in instead of this one, instead of that wire, you'll see almost no difference. You have to bear with. So that's with the other wire in. Let's see if we can do this one-handed. That's with the other wire in. Literally no difference. So what I think I'll do is I'll order some of these, some new units, and I'll upgrade these headlights to more modern ones where you can replace the lamp itself. And there we have it. So the trouble is, half of this stuff we don't know what it does anymore, because they don't match. When they were built in factory, the wiring over the years has been changed by previous owners. So it's a case of testing through, seeing what does what. So for some reason, somebody's wired this the headlight, the clocks to come on separate from the headlights, which doesn't make sense. So when we put the headlights on, the lamps inside these clusters, they don't light up until you do this. You see. So I don't know why you would ever want to drive in the dark with these off, because you can't see, and that's been the issue since I had this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this wire off. I'm going to remove that wire because that does the cluster lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on so they operate on the headlight switch only, which will be a winner. The switch feed. So rather than chopping all the wiring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that length on just in case I ever decide to change anything. I'm going to change that for a male crimp, keeping the coating, though it's not going to get used on this bit, but it's always there for future if we ever need it. To make sure all the ignition's off, because I don't want to be shorting anything. So these are, let's reposition that so you can see. So these are wire strippers. These are CK ones, but you put your piece of wire in here, like a bare piece of wire. Do that, you see the jaws closing. It grips the two parts of the wire that this side's going to strip, or depending on which way you put your wire in, it's going to grip it in the middle on the teeth, you see, and then it'll separates it. So what we're going to do first, we're going to use these to chop it, separate it, and then we'll bare the wire. Well, so I'm going to put that in there first, chop the end off, you see that? That saves you stressing with a pair of side cutters. So what we're going to do is fit this male crimp on there, nice and bonny, just like that. And then we'll put, there you go, a female connector. Oh well, good, but currently this is protected, so there's no chance of it shorting out. So we're all good to go. So if I give that a ground, headlights on, clock lights are on. It's a small victory for the day. So now we've got the unenviable task of finding out where these wires come from, which is somewhere in that rat's nest down there. So what have we got? We've got a supposedly red wire, and that's presumably ground. What it seems to be is this blue wire and all these in this one set of cables here is a trailer circuit. Anything on this side seems to be for the trailer hitch, or the trailer socket. So on the inside you've got 3 wires. So you'll have a supply to the block itself, then you'll have one feed going up to your light here, and then the other feed will be going back across the bed underneath and then into your second side there, because we do have two fogs. So if I can find out which one's which, so what I'll do is, what colour have we got? So you've got the red and yellow going to this fitting, we've got blue and a yellow. So we'll just check on the other side, see what we've got going to the fogs. So on this side we have yellow. So the yellow is the joint, and the blue is the feed. That was nice and easy, wasn't it? So we need to find out where that blue feed comes from. If you've ever chased cables through a Landrover like this, you'll know it isn't going to be fun. Wish me luck. Through there with the orange cable. Turns out the fog lights were on the fan. What is that about? So I took them off there. Now I've put them on there. So what I've done is I've linked it with the, just as a test, a known live supply, which is off these lights that we worked out earlier. Linked it to that there. That's just coming down, giving a supply to that blue cable, just to test. If I put these headlights on, then theoretically we should have main lights on, headlights on. Right. So we want to see 12 volts between that and ground. So if we are on the correct cable, on this pin here to known ground, we should have up to 12 volts because the engine's not running. So there we've got 11.5. So if we started that engine, that would go up to about 14. So let's go and have a look at the light fitting. But we've still got nothing on the lights, so what I'm going to do is just take this cover off and have a look. So it turns out it does have power. The contacts inside the fitting itself were corroded. So I cleaned them off, cleaned the lamp fittings, the contacts on the lamp itself, and we're working. The other side's not, so I'm assuming it's the same issue that side. So we'll sort that out now, and then we'll go back to wiring the switch up. Right, so before we start wiring the switch up, I just want to show you that I've managed to fix fixed all the lights. So now we've got reversing lights, brake lights, indicators, fog lights, reversing lights. Same that side. So now we're just going to separate the supply for these because they're currently wired into that test supply that I showed you earlier. And then we're done. So what you want to do is you're going to want to remove all this stuff off the outside. This is just a simple on-off switch. Nice and easy. I've got the short one so you can't catch it and turn things on and off by accident. Also it's denoted which one's on and which one's off, so you know where you're at. So I'll just put that down there out of the way. What this does is, this one sets the depth, so you can have it right to the surface there. You have your piece of metal, in this case this piece of metal, on here, and then the surface nut on top of that, which we're not too fussed about at the minute, so we'll leave that on there so it don't fall off. Now you want to gauge that against your, well, this is what they call a cone drill. So as you can guess, what a cone drill does is you start drilling with the end piece, and the longer you drill for, the further up the cone drill it gets to 32mm. You can get smaller ones of these, but these are absolutely brilliant, especially if you're doing simple jobs like this. So what you're going to do is you want to weigh that up against your cone drill and see what size roughly that thread is. So you're looking at about size 12 mil on this, which is one I seem to have used before because I've marked it up. So what we're going to do is drill this into the metalwork until we can't see this black marker anymore, and then we should be able to fit that switch in. So just realised I really need to take that roof off the door. Today we've sorted out the lights in the clusters in the inside. We've done the rear fogs and reversing lights, so now we can actually reverse and people know we're reversing, and if there is fog, obviously we can light ourselves up and let the people know that we are there. We have found that the headlights are sealed units, so we are going to order some new ones of them. We don't know whether to do LED conversion on them or whether to put them back as standard lights. So if you follow us, we'll come back to this and we'll do a test and we'll see what goes better, what works the best and what looks the best on a Series 2. As for the dash inside, sorry about the dark. So now we've got the reversing fogs, which we'll test now, and also the dash. The lights are all working, whereas before they didn't work, so they were like that. We had no lights, and now we have lights, so we can see what speed we're doing. Right, let's test the reverse. Let's test that first. Reverse is on, and yeah, reverse. So now you can tell we're reversing. Turn the reverse off and the fog on. We do know that there is an issue with the offside lamp holder, so I'm going to order a new one. So this one it'll work 1 minute, then not the next, and that's working. So at least now we can be seen in inclement weather. So once again, as always, thanks for watching. If you do want to see more Landrover content, this is the place for you. If you are interested and you do want to know what's to come with us as a channel and this vehicle, do follow, it'll be interesting. Thank you, see ya.